Man, I guess so my middle name's Kofi, and the stone basically came from my when at birth there was some complications in it. And my yeah, there was a lot of complications, and because I survived, my granddad gave me the name Kofi Ekpa, and in Ewe, which is the tribe that I'm from, that means waterstone. And so yeah, I was just so my granddad gave me that name, and I was just like, you know what, Kofi Stone, Kofi Waterstone, and then I didn't want to call myself Kofi Waterstone, so I was like, yeah, that kind of don't bang. So it's just like Kofi Stone, and then from there it was just stuck, man.
So, what would you say heritage? I guess you spoke about your granddad. Like, what has great heritage and legacy done for your journey so far?
Yeah, I guess my granddad was a poet. So if we're talking heritage, he kind of brought the like his whole our nation Ghana into the poems, and yeah, I feel like he was really influential to me because that was how I started, which was really cool, man. I really took a lot of influence from him. And yeah, kind of just, it's all in the name, I guess. Being a Ghanaian name, Friday born, that was um, that was something I adopted.
And what would you say growing up, seeing creativity being a thing? How do you think that influenced you?
Um, I think it was all around me, you know. Yeah, man, like just just seeing it all around me, just my uncles, my cousins. I remember really early, one of my cousins always used to have Nas's record, and he was super cool as well. He was always in like some mad night fits. And as you know, like when the people older than you look up to them when you're really young. And he just had loads of like CDs, and I remember like him playing me them, and I was just like, man, this is sick. This is really cold. And I remember that must have been sowing the seed in my mind. And then it was only when I got to secondary school playing of this game, Vice City, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I heard the track and I was just like, nah, that's what I want to do. So I just remember, yeah, there was so much influence going like um, around when I was a kid, um, that eventually led to me just saying I'm gonna do this.
What was the scariest part of saying I'm gonna do this?
So the scariest part, I think, of me saying when I'm gonna do this was, I think because I chose to do it pretty early, it was the fear of being judged. Um, because I do remember actually some of my older cousins laughing about it to start with, because I remember I had this CD that I kind of went to the my mum had taken some pictures, and I just cut out my picture and then just put it in the CD. And my cousin found it really hilarious. Um, but yeah, I think that kind of made me think, oh, is that how it's gonna be? So I think around that time, because that was around the time that I started. I was probably like 10. Um, so I think there was a fear that I might be judged. It might be people might laugh at it. Um, but then at the same time, that fueled me to be like, you know what, I can prove myself. I can do this. I believe in myself. The element of being delusional, um, there, which I think you need, going into something so big. Um, yeah.
I feel like you've been watering those initial seeds for some time now. What do you think has kept you going in that process?
Um, what I think's kept me going is proving to myself that what I set out to do is actually possible. Um, I think getting into it, I kind of thought, yeah, no, I can actually take this to the highest level. And although I haven't done that yet, I want to prove to myself that I can. So every day, that's in the back of my mind, and that's just like, okay, you've told yourself you're gonna do this, so you're gonna have to just do it. You can't stop now. There's still so much to do. So that drives me every day.
I say you're from UK and you're from Birmingham, outside of London, where people say London is like the capital. Um, how do you feel like you've been able to water your own flowers during this time where people haven't given you your flowers?
Okay, so the way I feel like I've been able to water my flowers being outside of London, I think, funnily enough, is being in both environments, um, not positioning myself specifically in Brum, um, building in Brum, but also building in London, um, which has been interesting, man. It's been really interesting, I feel like at the same time though, I've kind of kept myself out of it, out of the way, out of the industry a little bit, and just kind of just focus on the music, and that's what I believe has allowed me to be here. Um, but yeah, I think that the growth has been over time, um, similar to how flowers grow. It's never overnight. So yeah, no, I'm just grateful to God that I was able to be resilient and just hope, be hopeful, and trust that you know there will be bloom.
I think it's um, sometimes it's harder to do your own thing, but then when it pays off, it pays off.
Mm.
Has there ever been a time in your journey where you've wanted to be in the industry versus having your own industry?
Um, has there been a time when I've wanted to be in the industry as opposed to being in my own world? I think I've always wanted to be part of what's going on and to be accepted, like to just be seen as, oh, he's doing his thing, but we still rock with him. Um, and that never goes away. You always want to be accepted by your peers and people around you. Um, but at the same time, I'm happy to, it comes in. Not everyone can love you, I guess, in this industry. It's like some people understand what you're doing, some people don't. Um, so yeah, that's something that I almost can't get my head around, but it almost keeps you going. It keeps you with that it keeps you in that there's people to win over spirit, which is what you need, because if you've got everyone shouting your name, then you can lose that passion and and that drive. So yeah, I kind of like it, man. I feel like I'm in a place where I'm the underdog.
Mm. Well, I guess your numbers don't say you're an underdog, but
Yeah.
the new album that's coming, do you want to speak about how that's going to possibly bring more people onto your side?
Yeah, man. Nah, thank you, bro. Yeah, I guess this album, this project is very. I think it's important to make every body of work different, and to just make exactly what you feel. Um, so yeah, with this one, it feels very much like I've expressed myself in a in a different way. I think there's a lot more. I feel like I might be able to dance on stage when I'm playing it playing it live. Sorry, which is something that I haven't really done before. It's a lot more upbeat, um, having a lot more fun, taking a lot more risks. Yeah, and I think that I'm hoping people gravitate towards it. I think I've tried to cover all bases. But I feel like one of, if not the most important reason people have connected with me is the depth. I think this album, I wanted to make sure that it had it, but because I've gone about it a different way in terms of the soundscape of things and the topics, I didn't want to lose that. So I think I've successfully got the balance. So I think this is probably one of the most balanced records that I've done out of the three. So I think it opens me up to a new audience almost, because I think that people that are there already, they've kind of, as I said, they like the depth. And yeah, so I think I've kind of done that on the first two records, but this one opens it up to people that might want to dance, people that might want to hear some more love stories or things like that. So I'm excited to bring in some new people, man.
How important is it to know yourself in able to bloom? Do you feel like you can really bloom, grow, blow, all of that stuff without really knowing yourself?
Yeah, I guess.
And the reason I'm asking, because you spoke about depth,
Yeah,
you have to go into yourself a lot to be able to put that in the song. So, yeah, how important do you think it is to really know yourself?
yeah. How important it is to know yourself as an artist. Um, I believe I believe that's everything. Because you I guess you not knowing yourself doesn't allow you to be yourself. And if you can't be yourself on record, then you are going to be someone else most likely, and someone else is already taken, I guess. So you can never do someone else as good as they can. Do you know what I'm saying? You can only do you to the best. No one can do you better than you. So I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't know yourself, essentially before making art, I guess. So yeah, my answer will be yes, you can bloom, but you can't bloom you can't be the best flower possibly that you can be.
What seeds do you want this album to plant for you and the rest of your journey?
Um, I see this as a garden, almost almost as a garden of different flowers, because I feel like I've opened up different different doors that I've wanted to go through for a long time. So I feel like it allows people to see the different sides of me, which ultimately allow me to do more going forward, I guess. Yeah, so I guess it allows people to see me in a new light, which I'm looking forward to.
And if there's one thing that people take away from this album, what do you think that would be? What do you want that to be?
The one thing for people to take away from this album, I'd say joy. Joy is one of the things, if not one of many, but yeah, I think joy is something that I want people to feel, and I want people to also, yeah, feel hopeful for whatever they're doing in their life.